Hey, what's up YouTube? So I have a super fun flow ready. It's kind of geared more towards tattoo artists. Someone who is very near and dear to my heart requested a simple quick flow to do before or after she's tattooing clients. And honestly, I'm so excited to do this. I'm so stoked to do this because obviously I'm pretty covered in tattoos by a bunch of different people. So I'm very blessed to have such great artwork on me for the rest of my life. So if I can make a quick flow for you guys to do before or after your clients, I'm totally here for it. So we're gonna focus on definitely the wrists, the forearms, we'll get the necks involved. Also the hips, I think too, there's a lot of sitting when you're tattooing, especially with bigger pieces, so I think it'll be nice to be able to stretch out the hips as well. I would suggest doing this honestly maybe before or after your clients too. Maybe before to get warmed up, after to kind of mellow out from the day if you're feeling a little crampy in the neck area, hip area, hands, fingers, forearms, so kind of all of the above. So we'll get right to it. You won't need anything for this class. We'll stay pretty close to the ground for the most part. Like I said, we're gonna focus on pretty specific areas, so there won't be many ups and downs, things like that. So go ahead and get seated, bring your coffee, your water, your beer, whatever you choose, and we'll get started. So in a comfortable seated position, what I like to do, just ground your sit bones down. So if that means kind of picking up the flesh and putting it back down, feel free to do so. Try to keep a straight spine. So I know it's so easy to hunch, especially when you're tattooing. So if you can kind of bring some awareness to the spine and kind of keep it up, keep the chest kind of up towards the sky as well, that will be super nice here too. With us seated here, go ahead and bring the palms to the knees, shins, wherever is going to be comfortable for you. And we're simply going to start with just a few neck rolls. So what I mean by that, we'll inhale, keep a nice straight spine. And as you exhale, bring the chin to the chest. And we'll just simply go towards the right side. So right ear to right shoulder, feeling a nice openness, a nice stretch through the left side of the neck here. Big inhale as you go up towards the sky. And then as you exhale, that left ear should be reaching the left shoulder a little bit. And then we'll go down to our chest, so chin to chest. And just keep going at your own pace here. So keep going with the inhalations and the exhalations. You don't have to follow me in this area at all. If you're feeling something that is tight here, or if you maybe kind of pulled a muscle over there, go ahead and marinate wherever you're feeling sensation. So we'll be here for a few rounds here, just kind of taking your time, stretching it out, making sure the right ear falls graciously over towards the right shoulder. The inhalations will bring you up towards the sky. And then eventually those exhales will bring the chin towards the chest. So yeah, right, of course this is yoga. Of course I'm teaching you the poses and the good stretches, but there's nothing really alignment, things like that you need to be worried about specifically in this flow that we're gonna do. I just want you to kind of settle in. Maybe you close your eyes while doing so and really just tune into your own body. So of course I'm here guiding you, kind of telling you what to do, where to go, but you are always your best teacher. As long as you're listening to your breath, listening to your movements, that works for me. So still continue with these for just a few more moments. Big inhalations. If you started from the right side with me, maybe you switch it over to the left side. So as we inhale, that left ear will go to the left shoulder. Eventually we gaze towards the sky. And we'll exhale, chin to chest. Finishing up about 2 rounds here. Awesome, and when you finish up that last round, we'll meet in center. We'll do a big inhale, bring those shoulders up towards the ears, and as we exhale, drive the elbows towards the ground. Big inhale, shoulders towards the ears, just kind of warming up the body, getting ready to make some movement, create some more space. Knowing the inhales bring the shoulders towards the ears, and as we exhale, the elbows should be kind of driving towards the ground. And just a few rounds. And again, if my cueing, if my breath is faster than yours or slower than yours, just continue to kind of go at your own pace and just remember my simple cues that I've kind of mentioned so far, and you'll be all set. 2 more rounds. And we'll exhale back to center. Perfect. So let's inhale our arms up overhead. So those palms will eventually touch. And we'll exhale the palms to heart center. Big inhale, arms up overhead. Palms touch once more. And this time, as we exhale, we'll bring the right hand towards the mat. And we'll inhale and extend the left arm up overhead, eventually going over towards the right side of the room as well. So really ground the left sit bone down while doing so. That's going to have a tendency to want to go over with us here too. And that's kind of a good avenue, I guess you could say, to honing into your own body. So as you're here, you are the one feeling how much your sit bone's lifting up, right? Like I can't tell you how much that's lifting up, only you would know that. So just make sure you allow that right hand to kind of guide you. So really generously push into the right hand as you extend the left arm up overhead. And you can gaze up towards the sky as well, but if your neck's not feeling that today, just gaze down towards the mat here too. Try to think about rotating the pinky so that reaches the mat as well. You're kind of rotating the biceps over towards that left ear. And allow your breath to really hone in on the left side of the body. So you don't really think about how many areas of your body don't catch the breath. So just give yourself like a second. Close the eyes, extend the left arm up, and really just as you inhale, let it fill up that left side body. And exhale, push it out. Last inhale here. And we'll exhale. Now this time as we inhale, we'll bring the arms up overhead. And then we'll exhale the left hand to the mat. Big inhale as we extend the right arm up overhead towards the left side of the mat here. And again, just be aware. Be aware of your surrounding. Be aware of the space. What is that what is that right sit bone doing? Gazing up towards the sky. And typically, I guess that's relative, but you usually don't want to let your weight shift into a pose. But in this one, let the weight shift over towards the left side so your left hand can kind of push you back towards center. Big inhale. Feel free to close the eyes here too. Rotating the pinky again towards the mat. We'll be here for 2 more moments. Exhaling it all the way. We'll inhale for 1 more time. And exhale. And this time as we inhale, we'll come up overhead. Palms meet together. And exhale those palms to heart center. Big inhale, arms up overhead. This time as we exhale, we're just going to push the palms towards the front of the room. So you should be staring at the backs of the hands here, right? And what we're going to do a few forearm stretches. So guarantee the forearms are going to burn here a little bit. If they do, that means it's working, right? So just have the hands extended out up towards the sky. Let the fingers get long here, palms heavy. Yeah, so the palms will be out extended, all 10 fingers up towards like the sky side of the room here. You should be staring at the back of the hands. And keep them right here for a second. So big stretch here, and then we'll close, make a fist, and open back up. Close again here, open back up. So kind of keep doing this. I'm gonna kind of ramble to kind of keep our minds preoccupied if you're already feeling it in your forearms. Honestly, I'm already feeling it too. But this is a really good way to just stretch out the fingers. You're kind of gripping at the, wow, I'm gonna get so much shit for this. You're gripping at like the tattoo gun, right? So you wanna really open up the fingers, kind of stretch out the knuckles. Definitely the forearms are feeling it here too. So just a few more rounds. You're doing good. Our forearms don't really get much love, so it's nice to kind of open up, stretch it out. All right, about 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, arms up overhead. And we'll exhale again, palms to heart center. Big inhale, arms up overhead. And as we exhale, we'll interlace the hands and we're gonna flip the palms to touch the sky, right? So this is gonna be really nice. It's gonna make some openness, create some space, some flexibility for the rotator cuffs as you inhale the arms up overhead. And kind of just play with it here. So, you would feel a nice side body stretch here. So with them, with the arms facing, the hands rather facing towards the sky, you can have some freedom here to move however you choose. So maybe you lean over towards the right. We can lean over towards the left here as well. making some circular motions. It's just nice to open up the forearms and the wrists this way. Big inhale. And then as we exhale, guys, just push it towards the front of the mat, round at the spine. So I'm gonna face this way so you can kind of understand what I'm saying here. I think it would be super helpful to kind of get some spinal movement, some space within the spine as you're hunching in. So continue with the arms up overhead. And then as you exhale, guys, really push. So push towards the front of the room, let the spine round, kind of how mine is here. You're gonna kind of push back here. And then as you inhale, that belly is gonna get big and it's gonna go towards the front of the room here too, a nice curve in the spine. Exhale, think about separating the shoulder blades here. Inhaling back up towards center. And we'll exhale, go down. Last big inhale here, find a nice curve. And then we'll exhale, hands to the front. And go ahead and release them, kind of shake out the forearms, shake out the hands. I know mine are talking to me, so I'm sure yours are too. And just give yourself a moment here. We've already kind of done a lot in a little amount of time, but that was kind of my idea with this, make it kind of simple, fast for you guys in case you have a client waiting, something like that. So go ahead and keep like shaking it out for a moment. Let the forearms take a break, let the wrists take a break here a little bit. Bring the hands back to the knees for a moment. Maybe we close our eyes. Go back to those neck rolls. Definitely keeping some freedom in this flow because I want you to always, I always want to guide you, right? But I want you to kind of hone in, like, did you like the neck rolls we did, 10 minutes ago? Maybe you come back to that for a second while we're taking this break. So always lots of options, always lots of space to move around in. And it's never going to look the same for, any of us, right? We all have a different body. Different areas that we'd like to focus on, maybe some issues in one area that somebody else doesn't have. So always just kind of worry about where you are in this present moment. All right, and we'll come back to center in about two or three moments here. And when we get there, we'll do a nice wrist stretch. So let's inhale the arms up overhead. And then as we exhale again, those hands are gonna come towards the front of the mat. We're gonna keep our right hand extended out long, the hand kind of separated here, fingers nice and wide. Now with our left hand here, what you're gonna do, you're gonna bring that thumb to the center of the right palm, and those 4 fingers are gonna be on the back of the hand. So from here, all you're gonna do is simply just guide the right fingertips towards the ground. It doesn't have to be anything more or less than that. I should have mentioned this. It's easier if you place the pinky like right in this corner edge. I don't know how to explain that well, but kind of pinkies meeting here, so that thumb will be in the center. For the 4 fingers here at the top of the palm, and go ahead and just find a nice stretch. You don't have to make this any more complicated or simple than what it already is. As long as that the left pinky is in the right palm and those 4 fingers are reaching towards the ground, you're doing perfect. You should be feeling a nice stretch in the forearm, a nice stretch in the wrist, especially after doing that little exercise of opening and closing the fist. Definitely will be good here. Perfect. And we'll just be here for a few rounds. I personally I could do this probably 10 minutes each on both of my wrists. I'm on my hands a lot too, obviously with yoga, but especially with kind of crunching at the fingers, utilizing the wrist often in tattooing. I'm sure this will be super nice to have. You don't have to wait to do this class either for this pose. This is something that would be super helpful in between clients. I'm sure you may already know that. It's kind of a common stretch, but if you didn't know that, it's definitely something to kind of take advantage of in between your appointments. Awesome. We'll roll that wrist out for a moment before we switch sides. Just whatever capacity works for you. And let's inhale, put that left hand towards the front of the room. Exhale, 4 fingers down, and we're gonna simply switch sides here. Finding again that nice wrist stretch. Words are hard for me today, I apologize. And again, letting those 4 fingers kind of really push into the front of the palm, the front of the hand rather, will help you kind of push them towards the ground. Maybe find some movements. Maybe you even close your eyes during this, kind of just let the sensations take over for a little bit. And I promise we have one more stretch after this, then we'll get off the hands for a little bit. But it seems to be something that you guys and gals use often during tattooing. So it's definitely nice to show some love to them for, 10, 15 minutes or so. I got 3 more rounds. Big inhales here, still with a nice straight spine. Roll those shoulder blades down if needed. The shoulders have a tendency to always creep up on us, so we want to remind them they can relax here too. Last one here. Awesome. Let's bring those hands down for a little bit. Let them kind of relax. And again, maybe you come back to those shoulder stretches, or shoulder shrugs, I guess I could say. Maybe you move the neck. I mean, I personally could move all day, every day. I guess that could be considered good or bad, but when I'm resting one portion of my body, I'm probably stretching or moving around in some other area. Awesome. All right, we'll finish with our last round here. So this one is another, just a really nice wrist stretch. You don't even have to tattoo to do this, right? If you're on a computer all day, if you're on your phone all day, if you're writing for work, anytime you're utilizing your wrist often, it'll be good to kind of come back to these poses. So let's inhale, making fists this time. So we'll have our fists towards the front of the room. All you're gonna do, push those fists down, push the fists down, knuckles towards the mat, and I'm sure you'll feel it, how I'm feeling it, right in that nice wrist here. So you can stay straight like here. I personally like not moving in this. I love the sensation I'm feeling. I love the stretch that's creating on itself. But if you want to experiment, you can always make some subtle wrist circles, some wrist stretches here too. That will kind of get into the exterior areas as well versus just honing into the one spot. But again, totally up to you. I'll stay here for just a few moments. Yeah, I mean, even here you could do some shoulder shrugs, you can do some neck rolls. Got a nice hip opener coming for you guys too, so didn't forget about the lower half. All right, we'll be here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let it go. Awesome. So we'll make our way to tabletop. So we'll just do a few different poses here, not too many movements happening, but just some nice daily movements that I do probably daily, or almost, I do these daily movements daily, right? Okay, so we'll do in our tabletop position. So here you want when you're in tabletop for whatever reason, rhyme, whatever you're doing, you always want to start with your foundation. So make sure the knees are above the hips, and you want the shoulders above the wrists as well. So you don't want them splaying too far out. You don't want them too close in, losing balance. Just make sure you have a nice foundation here. Toes can be tucked, toes can be untucked, whatever you prefer. Does not matter to me. I just want you comfortable and secure. So we're gonna find what's called cat-cow movements. It's just, again, a way to open up the spine, create some space that may not be there already. So in our tabletop, as we inhale, we're gonna drop the belly and we'll shift the gaze towards the sky, making a nice curve in the back. And as we exhale, we're gonna round, lower, mid, upper back, separating the shoulder blades. Eventually the chin will meet the chest. Big inhale as we drop the belly, shift the gaze. And then as you exhale again, finding that same rounding motion. And this would be the perfect time for me to kind of explain why I said time and time again, to focus on your own breath to movement, right? So the inhalations here will always drop the belly. And as you exhale, it's always gonna round at the spine. Maybe you breathe faster or slower than me. So I want you to focus on your own breath. I don't want you to follow me if it's just not in your movements today, right? Not in your lifestyle. So you know where to go with the inhales. You're gonna drop the belly. And you know where those exhales are gonna lead you. You're gonna round at the back. So tune me out if you need to. Close the eyes and just kind of let yourself experiment with this. These are super nice to do when you wake up in the morning. Like I said, if you've been slouching, just to remind the spine, we know you're here. We love you. Thanks for working for us. So go ahead and finish a few rounds by yourself. I'm not going to cue my inhales or exhales. I just want you to find your own pace here. And I'll let you know we got a few more rounds left. Perfect. About 2 more here. All right, coming back to that neutral tabletop, we're gonna work on the shoulders a little bit. So let's inhale the right arm up towards the sky. And as you exhale, you're gonna thread it through. So let that arm from the sky come towards the left side of the mat. If you have the space, the right shoulder will meet the mat, maybe the right temple. If you don't and you're here, that is totally okay. If you're feeling a nice stretch in the right shoulder blade, that's all I ask. But if you have some more space, go ahead and let it slide down towards the mat. Now this left hand's a little funky, like what do I do with it? It can stay right where it is, probably right in your eyesight, or you can always crawl it up towards the top of the mat. If you're wanting to get fancy, you can make a little bind here too, finding that right hip crease, totally up to you, but those are the 3 more common options, I guess you would say. So just again, find what works for you. We'll be here for a few breaths. Let yourself settle in, let yourself marinate into these poses. Feeling a nice separation in the shoulder blades, feeling some relief in the lower back maybe. Beautiful. Be here for about 2 more rounds. Big inhale into the lower back. Exhale, use the core to push it all out. Again, big inhale here. And we'll exhale it away. All right, so wherever that left hand is, let's bring it back towards the eyes. And as we inhale, we're gonna push up, unwind that right hand towards the sky. And then we'll exhale it towards the mat. Finding that on our left side here. So inhale that left arm up overhead. And we'll exhale, thread it through again. So that left hand's gonna go over towards the right edge of the mat. And like I said, play with those hand movements. Oh, it's cool. Like I said, just play with those hand movements. So maybe the left hand finds the hip crease there. Maybe you keep it where it is, which is totally cool. Or if you're wanting to find it towards the, the right hand, towards the front of the mat, that's an option here too. Hips may sway from like side to side. I'm really not that picky about it today. Hips don't have to be square. Just find a nice opening, a nice stretch into the shoulders. Be here for 3 more rounds. Awesome. Maybe you close your eyes. Biggest inhale here again, filling up towards the side bodies. Exhaling it away. Bringing that right hand back towards the eyesight here. We'll inhale, push up, unwind that left hand towards the sky. And we'll exhale back to our tabletop position. Okay, so finding our tabletop here, we're gonna do just a quick lunge to open up the hips a little bit. So go ahead and inhale, extend the right leg or the right heel rather towards the back of the mat. And then as we exhale, just bring it towards the front here. So however works for you. If you need to kind of poke up here, bring it there, however you gotta get there. I just wanna bring that right foot towards the front of the mat, staying on the left knee. And you're just gonna find a simple lunge. This is so nice for the hips, so good for the hip flexors. So if you're in this lunge position, again, I don't wanna be too strict with what you need to do and what you need to not do. So you find your lunge, find what feels good. Maybe you interlace the hands and they stay on the right thigh. Maybe you inhale and bring the arms up over towards the sky, letting the biceps frame the ears. Whatever works for you works for me. As long as you're feeling a nice stretch into the left hip flexor, that's all I'm asking for today. I like to find movement here personally. I like to, bounce up and down, let some space kind of create for itself. If you're like here and you're like, April, I'm not feeling anything, what are you making me do? Tuck the back left toes, lift the knee slightly, push the foot back towards the back of the mat, and you should feel a nice stretch in the left thigh, or the left quad rather. Nice, and just kind of stay here, kind of play around for a little bit. Making sure you ground into the right big toe. Let that heel get heavy. Awesome, and we're just gonna simply switch sides, so whatever works for you to get there. I just move from tabletop and I bring it right on up here, but whatever you need to do works for me. So on the left side here again, just make sure that left big toe is kind of grounding into the mat as you drive the right heel back. Toes tucked or untucked, whatever works for you. And again, play with those variations. So if your arms are kind of tired today, you just leave them on your left thigh. It's not a big deal. If you're wanting just to kind of open and extend and lift through the side bodies, go ahead and inhale the arms up overhead. Just gaze towards the back of the mat here as well, or maybe the front for you. We're kind of all over the place here, I'm sure. Or maybe you're not even using a mat. Just kind of gaze towards the front of you. Just a few more rounds here. Big inhale. And again, always tuck the back toes and kind of push that right heel back if you're ever needing more space into the right hip flexor. Big inhale. Exhale to settle. Again, let those inhalations create some length and space into the side bodies. And you can exhale and settle in just a little bit. Last inhale here. And we'll exhale those hands to the mat and we'll come back to tabletop. And all we're gonna do, we're gonna find another seated position. So we're gonna end in our seat here with just one more shoulder stretch. Or I'm sorry, I lied. We're gonna do a fold, but we're gonna end basically sitting down here. So let's inhale the arms up overhead. And we'll exhale palms to heart center. Because I love them so much, let's do it one more time. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale to heart center. And then we'll push the hands towards the front of the room yet again. And we're just gonna find a nice little loop. We're gonna cross that the left hand over the right tricep here and just push the right hand towards the left side of the room. So you'll find just a nice, this is probably a pretty common stretch. I'm sure you've done it before, but it's nice to, have a reminder to do it again. So find a nice grip. Let that shoulder kind of go over towards the left side. Maybe you gaze over the right shoulder as well. That's going to add you a bonus neck stretch on your left side here too. Awesome. 2 more breaths. Big inhale. Exhale it out. We'll inhale to unwind, arms up overhead once more. And we'll exhale the hands to heart center. Go ahead and push them towards the front. Grab the opposite arm here. And again, the left hand will go towards the right side. Find a nice shoulder stretch over towards the left. Three more rounds. And you can gaze over towards the left shoulder here and you'll find a nice stretch into your right side of the neck as well. This is Trip. He just got back from a walk. Awesome, one more round here. Big inhale, arms up overhead. And this time as we exhale, you're just gonna bring the hands towards the front of the mat and just spider crawl them as far as they can go. And let the hips stay heavy here for just a nice seated fold. So again, depending on the space that you have, like you might be up here, which again is totally fine. If you have some more space, go ahead and keep crawling towards the front of the mat. Maybe the forearms will reach the ground as well. And just let the head and neck get heavy here. Go ahead, this is gonna be the last pose today, so go ahead and close your eyes and kind of settle in if you're looking for just some time to like center and regroup before your day starts, or if you're trying to, wind down from your day. We'll be here for a little bit more, a few more moments, and then I will, like I said, end class here as well. So kind of keep a nice straight spine, crown of the head going towards the front of the room. Depending on, forearms on the ground, hands on the ground, it doesn't really matter. Whichever is on the ground, find a pulling action towards the mat as you push the chest towards the front of the room here too. Big inhale. And exhale. A few more moments. And exhale it away. And the last inhale together, guys. Fill up both side bodies. Let the back get heavy. Let it expand. Exhale, push it away. Big inhale back up to a seated position. Of course, if you're kind of like in that pose there, definitely stay in there. But yeah, that will be class today. So hopefully, you have your wrists, your forearms, your hips, everything feeling good today. Definitely come back to this class. So if this is your first time taking it, keep coming back. Notice the space that you're creating. Notice how much better you may be feeling before or after your clients, or whatever you're choosing to do this for. Definitely something you can continue to do. It's not like a one-time thing. So if you like this class, let me know, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. If there's another area that you'd like to focus on, or if you have questions on, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'd love to help you out. So hopefully you enjoyed this class today, and I'll see you on your mats again soon.